It's showtime. What's up, good people? And welcome to the Frank Harris Show, the biggest, the baddest, the best, and the most provocative show on earth. What's up, good people? And look who we have with us today. My boy, Dominican E. Yo, E, what's the words,
Frank,
man?
up,
What's the
Frank?
words,
What's going on?
E?
Ain't much, man. Just here,
E,
man.
it's
Just
been a
happy to
minute,
be
man.
here.
How's everything
Frank,
going?
everything good, Frank. Before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to our supporters. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers. So keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep commenting. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers, guys. So thanks for the support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
50,000, right? We over 40. We approaching 50. Hopefully we get to 50 million soon. Let's keep going. Let's like,
Keep
let's
going.
subscribe. Let's keep showing love. E, I got to kick it off. We're in training camp. Football season is right around the corner. And E, I got to kick this off with my football team. I got to start with my football team. You know I'm a crazy Cowboy fan, right? I'm one of the crazy, not delusional, but I'm a crazy Cowboy fan.
You're
Love the
delusional,
Cowboys.
Frank.
I always have to say
You're
I don't
delusional.
love
You're
Jerry
delusional.
Jones, but I love the Cowboys. So we got 3 players, right, that we need to re-sign potentially. All right. Tell me who you signed first in order. You got Dak Prescott, the quarterback. Okay. You got CeeDee Lamb, elite wide receiver, and you got the great Micah Parsons, disruptive defensive player, one of the best. So you got Dak Prescott, probably top 10 quarterback in the league. CeeDee Lamb was a top 5 receiver in the league last year, right? You can even say top 2 to 3. And you got Micah Parsons, who's one of the most disruptive players, Pro Bowl player, right, in the NFL. At times have been compared to the great Lawrence Taylor, which I think is greatly exaggerated at this point. But of those 3, Eric, first, second, and third, what's the priority in order of player?
Well, you know me, I'm a defensive guy, so you got to start with Michael Parsons. You got to sign him. You got to sign, the most disruptive player in the NFL. You got to sign him. That's a no-brainer. You have to sign him first because it all starts with defense. Right? Then number 2,
Oh boy,
you got to sign. You got
you
to
already
sign
disagree,
Dak.
but okay.
You got to sign Dak. You got to sign Dak number 2. Right? You need a quarterback. That's already established that can run a team. So you got to sign Dak number 2, and then CeeDee Lamb number 3. So that's my order. Michael Parsons number 1, Dak 2, and CeeDee Lamb 3. You got to start with defense, Frank. To win championship, you got to start with defense.
Bruh,
That's my
that's
order.
a horrible assessment. That's
Oh, here
horrible.
we go.
Bruh,
Here we go. Yeah.
you start you start with the quarterback. And by the way, of those 3 players, right, I think Micah Parsons is probably the better of the 3, right? But at the end of the day, you got to start with the quarterback. It always starts with the quarterback. That's why the quarterback is the highest paid player on every team. And by the way, let me be clear. Let me be
Wait,
clear.
hold on.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I'm gonna let you
Go
finish.
ahead. Go ahead.
We're not saying the highest paid in order. How do you said in order?
No. Stop, don't interrupt. Let me finish. That's why I was saying. All right. It's a reason why quarterbacks, huh?
I'm listening.
Hey, it's a reason why quarterbacks are the highest paid players in the league. They're the highest paid players because they're the most important players on teams. Okay. If the Cowboys lost of the 3 players, okay, the one that would hurt the most is if they lost Dak Prescott. Okay. If Micah Parsons is no longer there would still be a formidable defense. Okay. If CeeDee Lamb is no longer there, they still would have they still would be very good on offense. If you lose a quarterback, the whole thing crumbles. So okay. So time out. So for me, it's 1, the quarterback. Okay. The quarterback. Okay. 2, you got, and by the way, the quarterback, every time he puts his hands on the ball, there's a chance for a touchdown. A great play. The ball's in his hands so much more. But anyway, then I go Micah Parsons 2, right? Because he's a disruptive defensive player. And then 3, I go CeeDee Lamb. But you start with the quarterback. You start with the quarterback. And let me say this to you, E. If Dak Prescott is no longer on the Cowboys, let's take all three players off the team. And by the way, of the three players, my least favorite is Dak. I think Dak is an overrated player. I always tell you this. I don't think it's going to be tough for us to win with Dak Prescott as our quarterback, right? But Jerry Jones is old as can be. He needs to win now. Okay, you don't re-sign Dak, okay? So who are you going to now in the quarterback position, which is the hardest position to get it right? Who are you going to now in the quarterback position if you don't go back, if you don't re-sign Dak? I'm listening. I'm listening. Can you answer that question?
Wait up. They picked up the young quarterback, right? They signed him. So you go with the young quarterback. Frank, listen, you have great defense.
What young quarterback? What young quarterback?
You know I'm not good with names.
Trey Lance?
Yes, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance?
Yes.
He clearly couldn't get it done. He couldn't even beat Mr. Irrelevant with the 49ers. And by the way, there's nothing. He's shown us nothing to make us think that he's a franchise quarterback. You didn't draft a quarterback this year. So
you can win with defense, Frank. You can win with defense, Frank. Come on. You can win with defense in the NFL with defense, Frank. Defense. That's a proven fact. You can win with defense,
Eric,
Frank.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm listening.
Eric, you're absolutely wrong that you can win with defense. Every great team that's won recently in the Super Bowls had a great quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, these are the guys that are winning games. The Cowboys will not win playing good defense. We're not living in the days where Trent Dilfer was playing behind Ray Lewis and the great Ravens defense, right? Ed Reed and those guys. We don't live in that era. We live in an offensive era. That's why the best quarterback team is winning Super Bowls. What are you talking about? Give me an example of a team that won, Eric, in the recent era with a mediocre quarterback. Give me one.
Well, I'm not
that won a Super Bowl with a mediocre quarterback.
When you say mediocre, you always with these words, Frank. No, I'm not saying mediocre. I'm saying with a decent quarterback and a great defense, you can win. That's what I'm saying. You can win.
So who's the decent quarterback that the Cowboys have on their roster right now?
Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Good quarterback, Frank.
But if you don't resign Eric, we're talking about if you don't resign him. If you don't resign Dak Prescott, then who's on the roster right now that's going to win your Super Bowl? Nobody. He's the most important player on the roster right now.
Right.
So that's why you got to sign him first.
I'm signing Michael Parsons.
Yes.
I'm signing Michael Parsons first.
Eric, can I ask you a question? If Michael Parsons is not re-signed, can the Cowboys defense still be very, very good? Yes. They have great playmakers on our defense.
They'll be decent, but not great. He takes them over the top. They become great with him.
Listen, Eric, if you take Dak Prescott out the mix, they're horrible on offense. They are horrible if Dak Prescott is not in the mix.
Frank.
He's the more important piece. There's no doubt about that. CeeDee Lamb we don't even have to talk about CeeDee Lamb, right? Wide receivers, whatever. Michael Parsons, great defensive player, but we have playmakers all over the field with the Cowboys. If you take this quarterback out, right, it's not like we got a backup that's good.
I mean,
we don't have a young quarterback.
We don't know, Frank. He's unproven. We don't know. He's unproven.
Right. That's my point. So there's nobody on the roster right now that you go to and feel like you can plug in and still go to the Super Bowl. And Jerry Jones is old as can be, and he needs to go to the Super Bowl. So therefore, and by the way, you notice getting a new quarterback in, teaching them the system, going through all of that process all over again, that takes years.
Frank, listen, Michael Parsons.
Come on, bro.
Michael Parsons is the key guy. You must sign him. It all starts with defense. I'm a defensive guy. You got to start with defense, Frank. For me, guys like offense, we can flip flop. Hey, you like Dak. I like Michael Parsons. You know, it is what it is. I'm going.
But Eric, can I ask you a question? Give me a team that won a Super Bowl, right? Who didn't have a very good quarterback in the last 10 years. In the last 5 years.
Last 5 years. Didn't Philadelphia win with what's the quarterback? Nose, whatever his name is. Didn't they win?
I said in the last 5 years.
That's 5 years, Frank. 5-6 years.
That wasn't 5 years ago when they won with Foles.
How many years ago was that, Frank?
In the last 5 years, right?
Frank.
I mean, Mahomes and Brady won them all.
Frank.
Eric, the point is,
Philadelphia won with a mediocre quarterback, Frank. Did they not?
How many years ago?
He was the backup. You numbered it to 5. I'm just saying you gave 5 because you want George.
Well, hold on, Eric. You can pull out aberrations, but 90. If you can't use the exception, Most 90% of the time, the teams that win the Super Bowl have great quarterbacks.
Frank,
that's a fact.
You asked me to name a team that won the Super Bowl.
I said 5 years ago. Let's see when the Philadelphia Eagles won. I said 5 years ago.
All right. Listen, Frank, I know Philadelphia won with the backup quarterback. With a backup quarterback, they won, Frank.
Hold on. Because I want to make sure we tell people the facts.
It might have been 5 years ago, Frank. 5-6 years ago.
2018.
Okay, that's what? That's 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Okay, 6 years ago they won Super Bowl with a backup quarterback.
So not 5 years. So not in the 5 year span. Where the NFL. By the way, I didn't know that. But let me say this: the NFL is an offensive league. Brady and those guys and Mahomes have made it about the quarterbacks. So anyway, listen. You can have your opinion, right? Which makes no sense, and I got the rational opinion. You start with the quarterback, bro. But you go ahead on and you start with Micah Parsons, right? Micah Parsons has games where he's mediocre. He has these disruptive games, but in some games on the last year, and I'm a Cowboy fan, where he disappeared. Minimal, no sacks, few tackles. He wasn't as disruptive. The ball is in Dak Prescott's hand every time. You start with a quarterback. Everybody tells you this to win. Look at all these bums getting paid. Jordan Love, right? All this money Jordan Love got. The guy had a half a season. I'm not. Listen, you always start with the quarterback. I'm agree with you on this one. All right, so we start with the quarterback here. Thank you.
Hold on. But I'm saying this is from my perspective. I'm a defensive guy, so for me, I'm going to start with a defensive player that's going to be disruptive.
Yo, hold on. You got to be able to differentiate, right, what's in your heart to what's right or wrong. I don't like Dak. I like Micah Parsons better. But to answer this question properly, the answer is Dak. You can be a defensive guy all you want. We said, who should the Cowboys prioritize? It got to be the quarterback. It got to be. But anyway, all right, well, listen, let's switch gears, bro. Let's switch gears. Yeah, let's switch gears. All right? Let's switch to some hoops. All right?
Yes.
Now, this is what I don't understand. LeBron James is pushing 40, okay? And he is the dominant player on the U.S. Olympic team. By far. Best player. And I don't understand these American players, man. I saw AD somewhere talking about how great he is. I'm like, AD, when are you going to step up? You see him every day in practice. When are you going to become the guy for the Lakers? They've been trying to give him the Lakers team for years, okay? You see Steph Curry, all these guys marveling at how good LeBron James still is, all right? Bruh, when is somebody going to take the mantle from this 40-year-old man? Let the man rest some.
Well, Frank, let me say this.
Steph Curry, hold on. Let me just say some names. Steph Curry, Ja Morant, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Need I keep going? When are some of these guys going to take the mantle and become the best players coming out of the U.S.? And Embiid is playing on the U.S. team, but he's not a U.S. player, obviously. Embiid, born in Cameroon, not a U.S. player. E, talk to me, E. I'm listening. Talk to me now.
It's easier said than done. LeBron's not ready to give up. He's not ready to give up the crown, Frank. He's not. Right? He put so much effort.
He's playing the best. He's playing the best, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody got to step up.
So he's not ready to give up the crown, Frank. He's not ready to give up the crown. So these young guys, we're living in today's climate with basketball, but we're very, very friendly. Everybody's friendly with each other. You know what I'm saying? And guys are not ready to step up and say, you know what, it's my league. They want to wait for LeBron to just, fizz his way out the league and stuff like that.
Wait, hold on. I didn't say my league. No, that's not the question. I didn't say my league. LeBron is the best U.S. player. It doesn't mean it has to be your league. It means that you should be the best. LeBron should no longer be the best U.S. player. Doesn't mean it's your league, right? It can still be an international players' league.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but I'm saying, why can't these American players, right, step up? LeBron is old now, bro. What about your boy Bum Curry? And by the way, Curry looks like a bum in the Olympics. Steve, he's getting so exposed when he's out of his system. He was like 1 for 9 today. He's horrible. Okay. He's showing why he's a bum. He's overrated. He's a system guy. He sucks when he got to play outside of his system. He's getting exposed on defense. But anyway, that's another point. Best players come out of the U.S. Tatum. He didn't even make the rotation. Yo, think about this. Think about this, Eric. Tatum is the best player. Tatum and Brown are the best players on Boston. Is that right?
Yes.
The two highest paid players in the NBA, correct?
Yes.
Derek White is getting more playing time in the Olympics than Tatum. He's playing better. Derek White got into the Olympics ahead of Brown, right? Ahead of Brown, and he took a spot, and Tatum can't get no burn.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Steve Kerr on the rotations with the NBA with the Olympics. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, anytime Derek White gets more minutes than Tatum in the rotation, something must be going on. Maybe Steve Kerr has, maybe a way of maybe putting them in later on when games get more serious. I don't know, but I think that what they're doing to Tatum is unfair. It's unfair to that young man, him not getting in the rotation. That's sad.
Bum juice, overrated player Tatum. But anyway, let's get back to who's going overrated player? That's the fact. Because let me tell you this: who you gonna play him ahead of? Right? He's a wing. The wings are better than him.
Yeah, that's fact.
You're not playing him over LeBron. You're not playing him over KD. You're not playing him over Anthony Edwards, probably. Right? I mean, those are your primary wings. Yeah. And you can argue that I don't play him ahead of Booker. So let me ask you the question. So what American you think is up next? I ask. Like, who should be the guy that should be taking the mantle? Because Kawhi done. Poor George told you he's happy being a number 2. Steph Curry is a bum. Overrated. I don't like Steph Curry.
I think Anthony Edwards.
KD is old.
I think Anthony Edwards has the mentality to take over the crown. I think he has that mentality.
Okay, I rock with that. Anthony Edwards or Tatum?
I'm going Anthony Edwards. I think his mentality, his approach, his alpha male mentality, he's a dog. I think he has the mentality. You know what I'm saying? These guys are too friendly with each other. They want to be buddy, but I think he has that mentality like, I'm going to take it. And I think he has that approach. And I think he will be the next one to take the crown from LeBron.
By the way, shout out LeBron James, but I will say this though, dogs. You're watching this man play at his age, the way the guy can play at his age is pretty crazy, dogs, at 40. Like, he's the best player on the floor. And you know what's sad in this conversation? Anthony Edwards had all the promise in the world. Number 1 high school player coming out of Chicago, going to Kentucky, won the 1 national championship that Calipari had at Kentucky, right? Number 1 unanimous pick in the draft, all right? Everybody thought that Anthony Davis was Kevin Garnett, those kind of guys, that he would dominate the league. And now he's on LeBron James's team, and he sees what greatness looks like every day, E. Okay? Tell me, E, why in the world can't that man step up? All the skills, E, offensively and defensively. Like, why can't AD should be the guy we're talking about being that guy?
Frank, and I tell this to a lot of young kids. It's the mindset and how do you approach the game, right? And I think Anthony Davis is okay with just being a guy top 10, top 15 in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Some guys want to be great. The Kobe's of the world had the mentality of being great. The Jordans of the world wanted to be the great. They wanted to dominate and impose their greatness upon people. And I think, it takes a mindset to be that. And I don't think AD has that mindset. I think Anthony Edwards has that type of mindset. I think he will be the next one to take over the league. But a lot of these guys, like I said, it's a friendly league nowadays. They pat LeBron on the back, and they're just waiting for LeBron to just bow out gracefully, and thank you for what LeBron has done for the NBA, and that's what the league is about now. So I think Anthony Edwards is the one guy that I think that has that type of mindset. And I tell kids all the time, it's not about your skill set; it's a mindset you have to be great in the NBA, and I think he has that. I think he has that.
So I'm gonna say this. So I like Edwards more, but the NBA is clearly pushing Tatum, right? And Tatum got the ring, and I think Tatum will get another ring before Anthony Edwards gets one.
Well,
And so the problem that you're gonna have is the NBA is pushing Tatum, whatever it is, and but he's had a lot of success as well, right?
Yeah.
And he got his ring finally. And I do believe Tatum will get another ring before Edwards will get one ring, probably. And so the problem that you got is, right, Tatum with multiple rings, it's going to be hard for Edwards to be the guy. Even though I agree with you, I think Edwards should be the guy. But you got to win rings to be the best. And he ain't going to win no rings no time soon in that Minnesota team.
But Frank, let me ask you this. Jaylen Brown just won the MVP. MVP finals.
Yeah, but you and I both know who the face of the franchise is.
No, I'm just saying.
And everybody's happy. And everybody's happy. And everybody's happy for Brown. The real people are happy for Brown because they know what he really is. But the NBA and the world, Tatum is the guy.
Yes.
Right? That's the guy they want to push.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, Frank. But I
okay.
think that
Fair
Brown
enough.
just won the finals MVP. I think he's, he's the man on the team. He just won the finals MVP.
So,
Yes.
So, you know what? Let's switch gears now and let's stay on basketball, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the Olympics.
Yes.
Talking about the Olympics, talked about LeBron James carrying the team, talked about your boy Tatum getting no minutes, and then they gave him a starting spot, you know what I mean? Just to appease him when he didn't deserve it, right? They started him the next game, Kerr did, which was a joke, right? But anyway, Joel Embiid, often hurt, oftentimes hurt, always hurt. Not oftentimes, every year's hurt, okay? Kawhi Leonard the same. Joel Embiid, does he owe it to the 76ers to not play in the Olympics, take the summer off to get his body in shape, to rehab, to get healthy, and then get ready for the season? Or should he be playing in the Olympics, hobbling, as we see him, right? And the guy's always hurt. Now he'll have less time now to rest, get his body together for the NBA season. Which more important is, should he have played or should he have sat? Look at Kawhi. Kawhi tried. It seemed like Kawhi wasn't healthy. It feels like the Clippers pulled him. Who knows what happened? But Kawhi is no longer on the team, replaced by Derek White and not Jaylen Brown. Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, question. What does Embiid owe the Sixers? Should he play for the USA or should he sit? Tell me,
I think he should sit out. He owed it to the 76ers for him to be ready for NBA training camp in a full season. I think he needs to rest. I need to get his body in shape. I think he owes it to the 76ers who poured and invested so much money in Embiid. I think he owes it to them to just sit out, get his body right, and come back healthy and make a run at the NBA Finals with him and Paul George and Maxey and those guys. I think he owes it to the Philadelphia 76ers and the fans as well. I mean, he owes it to the Philadelphia fans. And we know the city of brotherly love, they are, a passionate fan group of people that are waiting for the Sixers to, overcome and bring the title to that town. So he owed it to the Sixers and he owed it to the fans as well.
Okay, so what about the flip side? What about to the country? When duty calls every 4 years, right, to exert our dominance, we should have our best players.
F that, man. F that. No, F that.
Huh? So I agree, right? I think it's you absolutely have an obligation to your basketball team that's paying you hundreds of millions of dollars in your career, right? To the fans of Philadelphia, but for the team with a financial commitment. And by the way, for guys that are healthy, okay, and don't have injury problems, yes. And look, not sure that this should matter, but the team also just poured so much more money into the team. They re-signed Maxey, okay? You got Paul George. You're paying them $212 million on the free agent market. You re-signed Oubre. You got rid of Bum Juice, your boy. Bum juice.
Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris, the most overpaid player in NBA history. But shout out his dad, who's done a good job as an agent. But whoa, what a mediocre player. But anyway, I will say this, he owes it to the franchise and to the team because they have a chance to be a championship caliber team this year if they're all healthy. Yes. And he owed it to that franchise to get himself in the best shape that he could be in, to rest his body because he's hobbling.
Yes.
He's hobbling. He doesn't look healthy. And so, and now his offseason will be a lot less.
Yes.
So you put more miles on the knees.
Yeah. It's showing on.
It's showing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's showing on, in the Olympic, and when he's playing, it shows that he's hobbling. I mean, listen, he shut it down. Get ready for the NBA season. You owe it to the fans. You owe it to the the president of the Philadelphia Sixers. You owe it to them. They invested so much in him. Shut it down, Embiid. And come
well, you
back.
can't shut it down now, right? I mean, you made the commitment, right? So you got to play. So there's no shutting down now. You should have thought about that before you played. So you got to play through it now, E. You can't shut it down, right? You can't do that. So, E. So on that note, USA, are they going to win the gold?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe they'll win the gold medal. I think.
So who you got in winning the silver, in the bronze? Come on, think on the spot.
I got
U.S. in the gold. Who got the silver?
I got Canada winning silver. I got Canada winning silver.
Okay.
And I got France winning bronze.
So I got the opposite. I think because France had a lucky game yesterday. They were down by 4 with like 10 seconds left. They got a 4-point play. An idiot from the Japanese team fouled a 3-point shooter. They were up 4 with 10 seconds left. That's the kind of magical plays that happen, E, when something magical happens for you. Okay. That's the kind of stuff you need. You almost lose a game. It's like in the NCAA tournament. You hit a half-court shot or something crazy happens, a 4-point. So France is the home team. They get far. They get deep into the playoffs of the Olympics. And so I'm going with same 3 teams, but I'm going the U.S., I'm going France, and I'm going – now I'm not sure which sides of the brackets or what have you, right? But I'm going U.S., France, and Canada.
Okay.
For the Canada on the bronze.
We're on the same page, man. We're on the same page, man. We got a flip-flop, 1 or 2 slots, but we're on the same page.
Yeah, those are the 3 teams, E. Those are the 3 teams. And I'm not sure. People thought Australia had a chance, but nah. Those are the 3 best teams, I think, in the Olympics, for sure. So, E, let me end with this, right? Quick out here. Simone Biles' husband got 7 days off. I believe it is 7 days out of training camp with the Green Bay Packers to go watch his wife in the Olympics. Is that right?
Ooh, that's a tough one there. That's a tough one there. Is it right? I don't think it's right. I think he should stay with the team. It's training camp. This is the most pivotal time that you need to learn the playbook, to get familiarized with your teammates, and the camaraderie you need to, build a championship roster. I think he should stay with the team. He can support from far. He can support, his wife from far. And I think he should stay with the team and be committed to the team and, build that camaraderie they need.
So, I got a question, E. Yeah. If you say you should stay with the team then, right? So what about people who leave for paternity leave? If somebody has a child, they allow their father to leave for a few days, right? So should the father on paternity leave be able to leave?
Yeah, that's something different, Frank. You expect them,
But your logic was that the same camaraderie you need the same way. If that's your argument, right? You leaving from the camaraderie perspective.
Nah, but I mean people
and team building.
Yeah, but people will take it more, in respect of like, he just had a child, give him some time to be with his family and his child. It's the Olympics, Frank. He could watch from far, support from far. You know what I mean? Now, baby.
So, let me say this. I disagree, but from a different perspective, right? What I think is that I don't say devalues, right? And the Olympics are special because some people can say the Olympics are special. It happens every 4 years. And what Simone Biles is doing is special, right? She's become the most decorated women's gymnastics competitor in the history of the Olympics, right? Yes. So it's almost like having a baby, right? In a sense, the specialness to what she's accomplishing. That being the case, Eric, what I think you do when you do paternity leave, I agree with you, is something that's everybody, right, should get. Everybody, and that's something that any father at training camp would get. The problem is Simone Biles at the Olympics, right? How do you place that ahead of what if this guy's wife over here is doing something in another state that's great? She's opening up a restaurant, opening up a business, her first business, or this guy over here is doing this or something like that. Why should Simone Biles, as a wife, right, give you special privileges? Now, the paternity leave situation, everybody gets that, no matter what. That's so now do we pick and choose the level of importance of an event to determine outside of paternity? If anybody's child is sick or something happens, anybody can leave, right?
Yes.
Why is Simone Biles in the Olympics more important than another accomplishment by another wife? Because in that family's household, that's equally important.
Obviously, we're talking about the greatest gymnastic figure of all time, and I think it puts a lot of importance.
So what? But this guy might say, well, my wife is the greatest whatever of all time for me, and I want to go see what she's doing.
That's a tricky question, Frank. I think that again, they should owe it. He should owe it to the team to stay with the team. It's training camp. It's the most pivotal time you have to learn the playbook, learn the schemes, especially coming from the defensive.
But what's your reasoning though? Because what she's doing is not as important. Because you said the guy in paternity leave should be able to leave. So you're saying that her doing what she's doing.
I don't view the Olympics as that important. I don't view the Olympics as that important.
Fair enough. I just feel like no matter, everybody has within their family ecosystem priority and what's important, right? And everybody's wife or husband or whatever the case may be, their accomplishments and what they do is important. And it may be not at the level of winning gold medals at the Olympics, but it means equally as much to you, right? As a husband, as a father, etc. And so I think it gets really tricky when you start making those kind of special accommodations. If there's blanket accommodation that everybody gets, like paternity leave or something like that, that's across the board, so it's fair. I think when you start to parse and pick and choose, right, what you decide to give people free time for, it becomes problematic.
I mean, yeah. Hey, listen. Shout out.
So anyway, it is what it is.
Man, 7 days to go be with his wife and support his wife. Shout out to the Green Bay Packers for that. That's all I can say.
Yo, how you gonna shout him out if you saying it's wrong? How you gonna shout him out if you saying it's wrong?
Listen, I'm not saying I never said it was wrong. I'm saying
what kind of contradictor? You like a big contradiction.
How is that?
It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. He can't do it. Shout out the Green Bay Packers for doing it. Come on, bro.
I said I think he should stay with the team.
You said it was wrong. You said he shouldn't do it.
He should stay with the team.
You said it was wrong. He shouldn't do it.
Stay with the team.
What?
Stay with the team is the most
right. So it's wrong that they gave him that accommodation.
Hey, the Packers they do things differently. Shout out to them.
I guess. Yeah. One thing I say about the Packers, boy, as an aside, that's one organization that always gets the quarterback position right. Right. I mean, you went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. Right now, it's only a half a season that we saw a good Jordan Love. But that organization sure knows how to do one thing right, and that's get a quarterback. They do a great job of getting the quarterback position right. Anyway, E, listen. Glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? I had a little vacation, E. You know what I'm saying? I'm smelling like vacation, baby, but I'm back in the building all day. E, as you know, we always do this time of the show. Time for you to shout out your Dominican brothers and sisters and people who you feel like are making waves and doing great things in the community, bro, in the world. Do your thing.
Yes. So as we know, we're watching the Olympics. I said it before, prior to the Olympics. I'm gonna give a shout out to Marilina Paulina. She's a 400 gold medalist, the world's gold medalist. She's now trying to achieve the first ever Olympic gold medalist for the Dominican Republic. So shout out to her. Good luck to her in the 400 meters. Bring it home, baby. De lo mío.
Yo, bro, I got a question. You just said she's a 400 gold medalist, and then you said she's trying to bring her first gold medal home.
She's the world champion.
Champion. Come on, get it right though. Come on, get it right. When you shouting out your Dominican family, get it right, bro.
She is the number one 400 meter runner. She won the world championship. Now she's going for the gold medal. Come on, Frank. Come Come on,
Shout
man.
out to her. But I can't pull for against the American runners, but shout out to her, though.
Yeah, shout out
Do
to her.
your thing.
Yes.
All right, E. Well, listen. Always a pleasure, E, to have you, obviously. Listen, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep showing love. E, I'm out.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Always.
Love.
Always. On the way to 50,000. Let's get it.
For sure. Oh.